Fighter, you ready?
Combate Global.
Oh, what a punch. What an incredible fight. Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion.
Welcome to beautiful South Florida. That's right, you see the skyline of downtown Miami. It's been raining all week. It cleared up just for us to get it on here in La Jaula inside Univision Studios. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to ask a lot of my broadcast partner, Rodolfo Roman. I am Jimmy Smith, because our first fight on Paramount Plus, Samuel Alvarez, his nickname is the Alley Cat, versus Alfrego Ruelas, whose nickname is Slayer.
Yes,
I'm gonna
for
ask
the metalheads.
my metalhead broadcast partner. You got to be neutral in this fight, man. Be a professional.
I do. You know, unfortunately, I cannot grow long hair, but I can headbang. Yeah, I'm liking Ruelas. He's a tough dude, and Alvarez, again, a former competitor of Copa Combate. Should be a good fight.
Omar, let's get us going and see if we can slay tonight.
Entrando a la jaula, Samuel Alvarez.
And there he is, Samuel Alley Cat Alvarez, 7-6 as a pro. He said what got him into this game was watching the WEC Faber versus Culver. If you remember that one, Jens Culver and Uriah Faber. They had a couple of really outstanding fights in WEC. He said that's what got me into it. I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah. And now he's coming in now inside La Jaula. Great stand-up game. Last time we saw him, didn't go too well, didn't favor him. He's shaping up some things. But one thing that really stands out about the Alley Cat, yes, he has great stand-up. He has great technique for striking, but it's his heart, his determination. You can put this guy, get hit by two trucks, and he'll still keep going. And it's very, very important here today against Alfrego Ruelas, who on paper, physically, we see it, is a more stockier guy than Alley Cat.
Well, let's see what the Alley Cat brings tonight. He has heart, needs the technique as well. Omar Amador, let's bring in his opponent.
Y ahora su oponente, Alfrego Ruelas.
Alfrego Ruelas, he talks about his 17 years of experience in martial arts. He said he's done all kinds, trains with the bone breakers. You know he's getting those reps in and sparring, but as we said, 500, right? He's been 4-4. That's where you can break out and really have a career, or you can have that loss that demoralizes you and sends you out of the sport. Could we make or break tonight?
Oh, they could definitely make or break him here, and to define himself where he needs to be. It's going to be very important for him to bring that heat inside La Jaula. He has that background in Lima Lama that we said. In fact, that's how he was for his country of Mexico, representing his country in Lima Lama. He brings that experience. But what you'll see about him, just like Sam, but he's a taller guy, and he's very, very aggressive, very pressured fighter. Let's see if that comes into play. And he's a lot lankier, very lanky, you can see.
Long, tall, 155-pounders, a lightweight division, red hot in all of MMA. So much technique at 155. These guys looking to make their mark in La Jaula tonight as we look at the head-to-head. 3 years older is Alfrego Ruelas. A little bit of a height advantage. Reach exactly the same. Let's go to Omar Amador to get us started.
Damas y caballeros, ya estamos listos para mucha más acción con este combate pautado a 3 rounds de 5 minutos en la división de peso ligero. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for much more action. With this bout set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the lightweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Ricardo Celis, Vicente Rodríguez y Mark Streisand. Damas y caballeros, the time is here para un combate global. Introducing out of the blue corner, presentando en la esquina azul. Entra con un récord de 7 victorias, 6 derrotas. He steps into the cage with a record of 7 victories, 6 losses. Vistiendo rojo y blanco, wearing red and white. Pesó 154 libras planas. He weighed in at a lean and mean 154 pounds. Es de Manteca, California, Samuel, the Alley Cat, Alvarez. Y ahora, su oponente en la esquina roja. Now his opponent in the red corner. Entra con un récord de 4 victorias, 4 derrotas. He steps in with a record of 4 victories and 4 losses. Vistiendo de negro y colores mexicanos. Wearing black and Mexican colors. Registró 154 libras en la báscula. He weighed in at 154 pounds. Es de Pachuca, México, Alfrego, the Slayer, Ruelas. Y el referee para este combate, el puertorriqueño Ramón Ramos.
Anybody have any questions? Shake hands if you want right now. Dios los bendiga a los dos. Stay back.
It is Manteca, California versus Mexico City, Mexico. Samuel, the Alley Cat Alvarez in the red and white versus Alfrego Ruelas in the black trunks. And we are underway, round number 1.
Looking excited for this one, Jimmy. Don't sleep with one eye open or the Sandman will enter. Where's that from? Metallica.
I know it's from
okay,
Metallica.
all right.
Kidding
I'm just
me?
trying to. We're throwing these
Metallica
metal songs lines. We're gonna go in.
We're gonna be here all night.
We're gonna go in.
Go back with our metal. All right. Don't even get me started.
Wait to stay. Oh, great.
Was talking
Shot
about
up.
Sepultura earlier today with something
Oh,
don't
no,
get me started.
get me
Your
started
beautiful
with
takedown
Sepultura.
right now from Samuel Alvarez.
Oh, man.
Body lock, putting pressure on Alfrego Ruelas. Ooh, nice transition straight to the takedown. And that body lock pass, incredibly popular right now in Nogi. That body lock pass to the open guard, that's what we're seeing now.
And that's going to be the key here for Alvarez. He does have that background, more hardcore with the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
He's training with the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu under Darren Cooley. He has a brown belt. He has the advantage here against Ruelas, who is known for more of his striking and his stand-up game. And if you let him stand up, I mean, you will just have a ball game. So this is the key. He has a good strategy for the Alley Cat to take down Ruelas just right from the start.
Good job with that physical pressure.
And you notice Ruelas, now the 4-4, that means you've had your fair share of experience in the Jaula. Him putting that
taking
hand.
the back, both hooks in. Bad place to be early on in the fight. Nice turn at the right time for Alfrego Ruelas.
Putting the hands in La Jaula at this time where you're at with a 4-4, it's more a little bit of more frustration.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit like, you know, I want to get myself up.
Difficult place to be. A lot of great fighters start off with, you know, 2, 3, even 4 losses early, searching for the armbar.
He's been banking.
May have the Alley Cat, may have it straight. Good job on the defense, but got kind of going right back into triangle position.
Yeah.
We're seeing the inexperience of Ruelas on the ground. Yeah.
Right, this is going to be key here for Alvarez. He knows that this is where he got him cornered. Now that ground and pound, you know, if he's able to land in some elbows, some hammer fists, some shots, he is the stockier, bigger guy. Ruelas has fought in welterweight, Jimmy.
Yeah, the problem with jiu-jitsu and MMA is, can you do it while you're getting punched in the face? That's the difference.
It's the most exhausting thing ever.
Man, right now, Alvarez staying composed in full guard. Key is on top, not to do too much. Well, you wear yourself out. As long as you're on top and you're busy, to most judges, you're winning that round.
Right.
Remember, we have open scoring here in Combate Global. The corners will know the score after round number 1.
And he's trying to see if he can find a shot with those elbows, but, you know, too close to La Jaula there. Make it hard for Ruelas to find that opening.
Yeah, good job keeping
Well, now he's turning him to the side now, Jimmy. Now that could favor Ruelas.
Yeah.
If he's able to get to the side and work.
So far, Alvarez very active from the guard. Long legs. Somebody cut. Looks like we might have a cut somewhere. Can't tell who it is exactly. Oh, trying to throw up the triangle. Eats a right hand. I can't really tell who's leaking.
I don't know either.
Might be Ruelas.
Yeah, because
it is pouring out of somebody.
Alvarez just checked his forehead. It didn't seem like he had something. It may be Ruelas.
But you know what that does? You realize you're cut. You don't want the doctor to check it out. It can lead to a sense of urgency with your offense.
Another classic battle, USA versus Mexico inside the jaula, Jimmy.
It has led to some great fights so far this season.
Really can't see, but it's a lot of blood. It's raining blood, Jimmy.
Oh, I knew you were going to go to the player songs. Looking for the armbar now is the alley cat. Once again, defense from Ruelas.
How could I not? It was a perfect time.
That was a great setup. I got to say, that was absolutely outstanding. Right now, Ruelas doing a good job of short elbows. Yeah. Good offense on top, not exposing the arm. Tight, controlled strikes.
But Alvarez still confident that he could get something from this position. Because he's fine. There's been opportunities where he can't get himself out.
And also, we haven't seen panic in his eyes.
No.
Not at all.
No, he's on a mission. He knows exactly what. Sticking to that strategy.
Now you're able to put your foot on the cage side. You can't put your toes in the fence. It's a little tiny difference in the rules. Put your feet on it. Can't put your toes in it.
Right.
Last 10 seconds. Trying to finish with a flurry on top is Alfrego Ruelas.
Back of the head.
And he is able to finish strong as we finish round number 1. Might be on the brow.
Okay, we got to be on top, right?
Yeah, it's on the
We
head.
don't want that top pressure coming down on us. We're not getting those arm bars. He's getting slippier, okay? Yeah, he's getting really slippery. We don't want to be on the bottom, okay? We want to be on top. We want to be on top when it goes down, okay? We want to try to be on top, and if we can't get on top, we want to put a lot of pressure with him getting away from us so that we can get the space to get up, all right? You can't get up. I know you can't. You've been wrestling a lot, right? Turn it on. All right, Sam, you got this, my man. Remember, on top.
Take that out. Yeah, keep.
And we are ready to begin round number 2. It is Samuel Alvarez versus Alfrego Ruelas. Alvarez in the red and white and Ruelas in the black. We are underway. Round number 1. Unfortunately, Alvarez spent almost the entire round on his back hunting for submissions but taking ground and pound damage. And we saw a cut in round number 1. Weren't sure where it was. Looked like it's on the head of Samuel Alley Cat Alvarez.
And his corner told him, you're doing well, but let's flip it here. Don't be in the ground. Be on the top if you want to take this victory by way of submission.
Yeah. Tried from the bottom. The problem about working from your guard is it doesn't get easier. Your opponent gets more slippery in round number 2. It gets harder to get those submissions.
And Ruelas is a thicker, heavier guy when you look at. So when you got all that weight, that extra weight, when you make the weight the day of weight day, and then the next day,
throw that out the window.
Forget that, you go up.
And some aggression now from Alvarez, countered by Ruelas.
And I'll tell you, Alvarez has some great, crisp boxing. We saw it against Perez, where at one point he was just going toe-to-toe with Puas.
No surprise, round number 1, Alfrego Ruelas, 10-9 on top. Decent ground and pound in round number 1. No surprise there.
Yeah, enough to sway the judges, right?
Yeah.
He was active. He was landing shots.
This was not lay and pray. This was ground and pound in round number 1. From Ruelas, nice head kick switch.
Those kicks are dangerous. He knocked out about 2 opponents ago with that leg kick. He needs to be very careful, because if you do not keep that hand up,
using them early keeps your opponent honest, right? They got to look out for that head kick the entire time.
And one thing that I found with Alvarez in his previous 2 fights, he doesn't check kicks. I'm shocked that Ruelas is not doing that, working the low kicks.
Every kick he has thrown has been above the waist.
Right.
Nice power shot from the southpaw stance for Alvarez. Checked the chin of Ruelas, drove him back momentarily.
He'll eat those calf kicks. He wasn't checking them last time around. But it seems that Ruelas just wants to brawl. He wants to just strike.
The fighter really backing down. A lot of this has been in the center of La Jaula. Not a whole lot of angling, not a whole lot of footwork.
Little slap there from Alvarez.
Could be a Stockton thing.
Yeah.
Alvarez, you know.
They're from that same area.
Everybody's got to learn the Stockton slap. But a very even fight. You know, the empty the elbow over the top.
Very flashy.
Yep. A lot of times when fighters find a rhythm, it's the one who breaks the rhythm that finds success, you know, over halfway through the round. The question could be, who does that, right? Who hits the gas when they need to steal a very close round.
And when to find it.
Find that range. Feel calm. He's got to get desperate, not you.
It's kind of like it slowed down a bit, though, with 2.
It has, but we'll find out in the last 2 minutes who's going to turn it on. No real attempts at takedowns either. A little bit surprising considering how many high kicks we've seen.
Surprised Alvarez hasn't gone to the takedown approach.
Usually when you have a grappling advantage,
Yeah.
take those kicks, force your opponent to the ground, get on top, just like his corner said. Finally a leg kick from Ruelas.
I think he feels just very confident with his striking, especially with that jab. See, and that's, well, he is checking, and that's good.
A nice right hand. Oh, got some decent head movement out of the pocket. That jab, you talked about it. It's been a factor.
Yep. Lots of high kicks from both these guys.
No fear going for it. Coming up on it, 1 minute left.
And you know, high kicks in MMA it's a hit or miss. That's why you see lots of more of the low kicks, right? Oh, we get a Superman punch attempt from Ruelas. But with a high kick, if your opponent is able to find that right timing, he can just break it for you.
All or nothing, right? Yep.
I mean, it could be, it could threaten your career.
Yeah, much less risk throwing the low kicks, and that's what Ruelas.
That's what I'm saying. Remember I'm saying that he wasn't checking it? Yeah, see, there's the 2 kicks hasn't checked it. He has that habit.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, though. Is it
Third
enough
kick,
for
look at
Ruelas?
that.
Yeah, is it enough for Ruelas to win back this round? That's the question. Because Alvarez finding some success in round 2 with the strikes. Especially that active lead hand. He's been the X factor here.
Another Superman punch attempt.
Accurate counter shots, nothing heavy, but good stuff. 10 seconds left. Ruelas now, just like he did
Now we
round
gotta
1,
fight, Jimmy.
trying to finish strong. Both fighters landing bombs at the end of round number 2.
Nice.
¿Ok? Este round lo tenemos que ganar porque lo tenemos que ganar. Posiblemente vamos 1-1, ¿ok? Entonces, tenemos que ganarlo, carnal. Ahora, necesito que fintes un poquito más y las patadas bajas están funcionando, carnal, también. Pero cuídate de su derecha, te está agarrando con puros rectos, carnal. Ese es su juego, agarrarte con el jab y el cross. ¿Ok? Necesito que muevas la cabeza. Igual, si él circula y sale, cierra con la patada alta. Pero mano primero, patada alta. ¿Ok? Vas bien, ya no te agarró en el piso ni nada porque te estás moviendo más. Necesito que te sigas moviendo y necesito que aprietes. ¿Ok? Este round tiene que ser nuestro, carnal. ¿Ok?
Seconds out. Seconds out. Seconds out. Go.
Welcome back to round number 3. We wondered who would hit the gas at the end of round number 2. Well, they both did. It's been a very close fight. Samuel Alvarez versus Alfrego Ruelas. Alvarez in the red and white, Ruelas in the black trunks. It is Manteca, California versus Mexico City, Mexico.
Jimmy, in between round, Ruelas' corner told him, look, you're doing good. Stick to the striking, but don't start off with a high kick first. Start off with the punches, then move into the kicks.
Rodolfo, just say I told you so. Just say go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say I told you so.
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly what you're saying during the
and
fight.
Look, he just tried to do a question mark kick and no hands. And again, none of the checking again from Alvarez. You need to keep checking those kicks.
Leg kicks, body kicks, set up the rest of your offense to get your opponent thinking low and you go high. But see that counter right hand, and no surprise, it is all tied up, 19 apiece. Remember, we have open scoring here at Combate Global. The corners can tell their fighters what the score is. No surprise, it's tied right now.
No, and Ruelas' corner told them about that. Hey, I don't know what's up. We might be 1-1. You better push the pace. Cover your right side because he's connecting with that cross.
Yeah, it's connecting with the cross. A lot of stance.
Ooh, there it is.
Good right hand. This time from the orthodox stance.
You don't want to clinch with Ruelas, though. He has really good clinching, especially lands into those vicious knees that have a lot of knockout power.
Yeah, but good job with the right hand over the top as they broke the clinch. And we're just seeing the slight experience advantage for Samuel Alvarez. A little bit trickier, right? He seems to fit his shots in exactly at the right point with a little vulnerability. He has more fights, that could be it.
Right, and he feels more in control of the fight. He's not panicking.
Those pot shots have been there all night.
All day.
Nothing heavy.
No.
But they've been there, and they've been accurate.
Enough to do damage.
Yeah.
And he's so quick to get out, you know.
Look at the real-time stats. Ruelas, 80 punches. Alvarez with 64. The numbers advantage for Ruelas, but I think Alvarez has been a bit more accurate. You see 80% and very sharp with his punches.
Right.
Ignoring that advice about the head kick. He's throwing it anyway.
But listen, when you're in a fight, who listens to the coach, Jimmy? When you're in, you know, at one point you just throw it out the book.
It is so frustrating.
You just whatever, man. Let's go. But what Ruelas needs to do is a lot of feinting. He's not feinting much. He's just coming in with a kick. And Alvarez knows he's going to do the same thing, so he's really reading him really well.
Alvarez very, very relaxed with his stance. Both these guys comparatively, tall in their stances. They kind of let their chin ride up pretty high, but both guys throwing relaxed punches. Spinning kick there from Ruelas.
Very high on their stances.
Beautiful job with the stick, that lead jab of Alvarez. It has kept Ruelas off balance throughout this fight.
Yeah, the changes in this fight, Jimmy, has been Alvarez's stand-up and striking. That has been dictating it.
The face of Ruelas is starting to show.
Yeah, you can tell that he's desperate. He's trying to do anything to throw him off. And
just
the kicks
under
again.
2 minutes left in round number 3. It's been a very exciting fight, but see how easily that jab nullifies the aggression of Ruelas.
Corner just yelled to Ruelas. Head movement, head movement.
Sound advice, but if you haven't been doing it in the gym, it's hard to do it once you're actually in the jaula.
Whole different ball game. And it's not just fists coming at you, you got legs as well. That's why Muay Thai guys, like pure Muay Thai guys, when you put them in MMA, they do that transition. It's so hard for them. Or in boxing, transition is so hard for them to like. It's just head movement. You do head movement in Muay Thai, you know what's going to happen, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're going to get your head kicked into the third row. They have great defense, but generally with their arms. And the crowd here at Univision Studios really appreciating what we're seeing. It's been foot on the gas since the end of round number 2.
Yeah, that last round just ended with everything. And I have a feeling it's going to be the same in this last one as well.
Well, Alvarez, we've seen tremendous adjustments from Alvarez. Remember, he lost round number 1 on his butt the entire time, hunting for submissions, but lost round number 1, 2, and 3. It's been stand-up, it's been stance switches, excellent jabs, veteran stuff from him.
He figured him out. Put pressure on him, coming with a strike. Stop him with those kicks. Find the gaps, find the holes. And he's been doing very well. And he's been doing it the same, all day long he's been doing it.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. And it's Ruelas trying to make a fight out of it, trying to win the fight back. A counter punch, a good right hand. Don't let your guard down till the end, my friend. It ain't over till it's over. Great fight.
Great stuff.
Get us started in Combate Global. Beautiful stuff.
Love it, the way the ending, Jimmy.
Yeah, Samuel Alvarez, Alfrego Ruelas. You see right there, Samuel Alvarez getting attended to. Ruelas, his face showing the damage of the last 2 rounds. Great striking from Sam Alvarez. We'll find out right after this. Combate Global, it was an absolute war. Omar Amador, make it official for us.
Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of much more action, we go to the scorecards. Vamos a las tarjetas y los jueces están todos de acuerdo. All the judges are in agreement with scores 29-28 con tarjetas 29-28 a favor del ganador por decisión unánime, in favor to the winner by unanimous decision. De Manteca, California, Samuel the Alley Cat Alvarez.
Can't say he didn't earn it. Now moving to 8-6. Showed IQ, great striking, great accuracy. Exactly what we want to see at this point in his career.
No mercy shown. That's a name there. So show no mercy when a Slayer's CD.
I'm aware.
Okay, I just want to throw it in there.
Test my medal credentials.
Alvarez, that is the pro, that is the veteran. He was adjusted. Didn't work out for me in the ground game in the first. Well, let me stick what I know could work in the second and third and the striking.
Well, they're just getting started. The action continues after a war at 155. We got more to come. Stay with us here on Combate Global. Welcome back to Combate Global. You're looking at La Jaula. They're cleaning it up after a war. Now we move down to 125 pounds. Kyle Estrada versus Gerardo Graniel. 125. They're going to get it done. Omar, bring them out.
Entrando a la jaula, Kyle Estrada.
You are looking at Kyle Estrada. He is known as the Hoosier, 12-7 as a pro, fighting out of Scottsdale, Arizona. He talked about the depths of depression he has gone through to get to this point. He says it's made him a stronger fighter, a stronger person. You should see that in La Jaula.
Different guy. Last time we saw him, you can see it in his face. Now he's more secure of himself, a lot better physically, technically, the whole 9. Looking forward to see what Kyle Estrada is all about here tonight. 3rd time inside La Jaula.
Yeah, great competitor. Let's bring in his opponent, Omar Amador. Let's hear it.
Y ahora, su oponente, Gerardo Graniel.
Reigns with the Bone Breakers. He says he wants to put his hometown on the map. Ruelas del Carmen, that's where he's from. He says, I want to be a trainer, I want to be a leader, I want to teach warriors just like myself. Look at that energy coming in. He is all smiles, jiu-jitsu, purple belt, well-rounded. Talks about his overall game. Also, extremely experienced. 10-4 as a pro. The Jaula is becoming a home to him.
And he is part of the Bone Breakers, as you mentioned, who happened to have won last year's Combate Global Exclusivo reality show. He was part of that team. So he put his team on the map, always changing the hair color in representation of the Mexican flag. Today he's wearing green. But this guy can brawl, and that's one thing where Kyle can capitalize. When he likes to brawl, those openings are there for you, Jimmy. You just got to be very vigilant.
Yeah, both guys very, very experienced in the stand-up, but as you said, the way they approach it, very, very different. Kyle Estrada, 3 years older than his opponent, 1 inch taller, but the reach advantage by 4 inches belonging to Graniel. Omar Amador is going to get us started.
Ya estamos listos para continuar con mucha más acción en este compromiso pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división peso mosca. We are ready to continue with much more action with this fight set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are James Lázaro, Ricardo Celis, Vicente Rodríguez. Y ahora sí, damas y caballeros, el momento ha llegado para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing out of the blue corner. Entra con un récord de 12 victorias, 7 derrotas. He steps in with a record of 12 victories, 7 losses. Vistiendo de negro. Pesó 125.4 libras. He weighed in at 125.4 pounds. Es de Scottsdale, Arizona, Kyle the Hoosier Estrada. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now his opponent in the red corner. Entra a la jaula con 10 victorias, 4 derrotas. He steps into the cage with 10 victories and 4 losses. Vistiendo de azul y su bandera mexicana, wearing blue and his Mexican flag. Pesó 125.2 libras. He weighed in at a mean 125.2 pounds. Es de Ciudad de México, Gerardo Graniel. Y el hombre encargado de este combate, el referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
Centro, al centro. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Cuando dejan mis órdenes y protegen en todo momento. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
All right, now it looks like Graniel in the blue trunks. You see him on your left against Estrada.
Ready?
On the right in the black trunks. Graniel looking jacked up at 125 pounds. A lot of muscle on this kid.
A lot, and he's stocky, dude, but he's a very aggressive, pressured fighter. I'm curious to see how he does against Kyle, who can also bring up to that speed. He's the more flashier of the one, especially if you get into clinch. Look out for some spinning back fists, some spinning back elbows, but he loves calf kicks. Last time we saw him against Chris Barraza, he was just eating him alive with those calf kicks.
Very creative offense. He works the head to the toes, yeah.
And one thing that stands out about Graniel, we just saw not too long ago Ernesto Ibarra. He brought it to him. And Ibarra, as we know, he's one of the top guys here in Combate Global. But he was able to go toe-to-toe with him.
Gerardo Graniel in the blue with the blue hair. Oh, taking a right hand over the top. You talked about that. He brawls, but he tends to open himself up a little bit. Paid for it there.
Yep, and that's the thing. When you brawl, you leave yourself exposed. If you find that technical fighter that's able to control himself and be composed, that one open lane could be it for you.
And Graniel right now, you can see that shot over the top kind of backed him off just a little bit. His offense, not what it was earlier on in the fight, just taking a little bit of a breath, trying to figure Estrada out. Could be he decided that brawling isn't the best option right now.
Not today. And I see a lot of that side lateral kick. It used to be very popular. Now, not as much.
Very, very true. Both guys very active with the feet. See Estrada sizing up his opponent. That tall stance, but looking to read and react with punches like that.
You could tell the technique. Look at Estrada, how he keeps those elbows very tight, precise.
Long kicks from the outside. Making Graniel operate from outside. That's not your game. You're not used to it. It can really cause problems.
And when you face a brawler like Graniel, you want to keep those elbows tight, Jimmy, because as a brawler, when you Whoa! I've never seen that. That's some polite stuff there.
Was that you have a booger?
No, I don't know. I thought it was bleeding or something. That's some polite stuff.
That is the most polite. The referee had to tell them to keep fighting. They didn't call time. There was no illegal strike. I think it was you got something on your nose.
I guess they'll have a cup of coffee after, for sure.
Well, they may have been nice a second ago. They're not being nice anymore. Excellent offense.
That's a good one.
Both fighters right now. Estrada.
He's hanging on here, separated from.
Forehead right against the chin, trying to get a little separation. Problem is, I can leave you vulnerable to knee right through the middle, but Graniel not throwing it.
He slowed down. He slowed down a lot. He's a more faster-paced, pressured fighter.
Well, he may have hurt his leg with that last leg kick. He stumbled back a little bit and switched stances.
Oh, he walked right into that jab. But listen, Kyle will go at you too. If you give him the chance, he'll brawl.
Gerardo Graniel, though, now able to finally get chest to chest with Estrada. Legal elbows, turning those over so they're not 12-6. Aiming right for the ear.
All those 12-6s, Jimmy.
Oh, I know, right?
If. They allowed, right?
If they did, hey man, I'm still missing the pride days. You
Right,
kick a dude on the ground. Someday
Like a
that'll
field
get
goal.
here. Someday it'll happen. Graniel right now back.
Oh, that's a spinning.
Talked about the spinning shots from Estrada. It was Graniel throwing one. Both these fighters really starting to open up, and Estrada very much in his comfort zone so far. Graniel hasn't really been able to change the script, right? Hasn't been able to get Estrada out of his comfort zone yet.
He's still sticking to that. Chase him, throw.
Yeah. So far, Estrada has been able to deal with.
But Estrada's doing a lot of that feinting. It's working for him. The throws off Graniel.
What do you do in between strikes? It says a lot about you and your experience level. Shoulder feints, foot feints. We've seen a lot of that from Estrada.
And that's how you throw a guy that's always coming at you. You know, you throw him off because you don't know where you're gonna go, and you gotta keep him confused.
Some footwork to that left hand.
And there's those calf
Nice
kicks.
calf
I'm telling
kick.
you, he loves those calf kicks. Oh,
Last 10 seconds, it is Graniel trying to make up ground, but Estrada not going anywhere. As round number 1 ends.
ooh, good stuff.
That mouthpiece out. Beautiful round. Breathe. Slow everything down, Kyle.
Your nose.
Excellent round.
No, don't blow your nose. I need to. Do you? Easy, easy.
Yeah.
One side at a time.
Nice and easy with it. He's good. He's good. Hey, excellent. He's biting off of every single feint. Let's stick to the game. Game plan, march, and feints. You did. You won that round. Absolutely. You did. I haven't seen a score like that. Hey, listen, this is beautiful. You're outclassing this kid. I need you to keep your hands up in the exchanges. That's it. Don't want you to put hands up in the exchanges. All right? Let's go. Yes, sir. Go back. Go back. Remember, we're staying sharp, Kyle.
Kyle Estrada versus Gerardo Graniel. Graniel with the blue hair and blue shorts. Kyle Estrada, conveniently enough, black hair and black shorts. But in between rounds, Estrada's corner carefully blowing his nose. You know, that can blow your eye out if you do that improperly.
Down at Cerrone.
Yeah, and we know that very, very well. Eddie Alvarez, of course. And, you know, but they said you took round number 1. We will see the score in a second. Remember, open scoring here at Combate Global, but I definitely think round number 1 was in the comfort zone of Kyle Estrada. He feels good about round number 1.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. And something that the corner pointed out, which was saying, is keep that stance, those elbows go tight. If you're gonna brawl, keep them up all the time, because when you go up against a brawler, you don't have your hands up. If you exchange, that's what he wants you to do, so he can catch you.
It only takes one. Give one, don't take one. That's the hallmark of a great striker. Jab on the way in. He's always checking the aggression of Graniel, just keeping something in his face so that 3 or 4 punch brawl just doesn't work. Great stuff so far from Estrada.
Feint, you know, that feint's working. There's a calf kick as well to go to the open scoring, Jimmy.
No surprise at all. Kyle Estrada, 10-9 on all 3 judges' scorecards. Pretty much what we figured after round number 1.
There's more of that feint. Calling him in, baiting him in.
Corner saying he's buying the feints.
And he sure is. More calf kicks.
They're sent out to get a reaction. You see the redness around the calf.
He loves to do that. He loves to do that. So you might say, how do you stop that? Well, that's as they teach you all the time. Boom, put that back, that kick back. It becomes more of an instinct.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a habit. Once you see that foot come in, you move it out.
Or the quick check, of course. You got the shins to take it, but you haven't been doing those. To your point, you said it becomes an instinct. You got to do it a lot in the gym. Good right hand from Estrada over the top. You got to do it a lot in the gym to do it in the house.
It becomes muscle memory. You know, it's just automatically. Your legs just automatically do it.
Oh, good head kick. Cut part right into a bulldog choke. What a comeback that would have been.
I haven't seen a bulldog choke in years.
Right. Pat Militich, Carlos Newton for the old school fans that remember it. Beautiful bulldog choke. Almost saw another one. Looking for the head kick, but look at that. Head kick didn't work, so turn it into kind of a spinning move, keep my opponent off balance. And, you know, Graniel really hasn't figured out the riddle of Estrada. You know, the timing has kind of been a surprise to him. He's been in this fight for sure, but he hasn't found a way to kind of solve the Rubik's Cube here. And the numbers, you look at them, favor Estrada. 66 punches, 39 kicks, 77%, almost 80% with his strikes.
But he can't be too complacent, Jimmy, because when he brawls, that's when he leaves himself very vulnerable with Graniel.
And Graniel has real power. You know, if you drop your hands, we saw in the beginning, he's a strong guy at 125. You drop your guard for a second, boom, and it's
Could be
over.
lights out.
Yeah, and Estrada can't get lulled in that false sense of security.
No. He needs to keep doing what he's doing, the feigning, the striking.
Well, that's what experience comes in. You know, 12-7. He's been in the cage of various kinds 19 times. And you're not making those rookie mistakes of suddenly leaving your hands down.
And you
becoming complacent.
And you probably faced them all, the wrestlers, the strikers, the all-rounded guys. By then, you should have, right? And I noticed in the left ear of Graniel, you see that he's bleeding. Don't know how that came about. Not often do you see a lot of bleeding from the ears.
Cauliflower ears don't feel anything.
No, but it's not
like
cauliflower.
It's like a rock.
No, but it's not the cauliflower.
Coming from inside the ears?
Right.
Yep. Well, he is still attacking as though he's in no pain. Look at that, not giving Graniel any space at all.
But you're right, you don't never feel cauliflower. Just pop it and that's it.
Good stuff once again from Estrada. Graniel. Loading that big right hand. Caught a little bit of it, but Estrada, good movement. Had good timing moving backwards.
Oh my
God!
Boy!
And it's over!
Jimmy! Well, wow! I don't even think he believes it.
What a comeback shot from Gerardo Graniel!
We go back to keeping your hands up, not being too complacent, right? And he's complaining, but he got hit right
in
on
the
button.
We will take another look at it, but the stoppage looked justified to me in real time. Let's see it.
Boom, right there.
And he froze.
He
froze.
That's it. No, good stoppage on Raul Parada.
Here it is again, bang, right to the chin. And no reaction to those strikes. I think the last shot may have woken him up again. He didn't realize he was out of 1, 2, 3. Good stoppage from the referee.
I know his corner's saying, I felt good. I was still in the fight. And I know this could be a debate in itself, Jimmy. But
folks, there is no debate there. You don't take 3 shots clean with no intelligent defense, and they don't stop the fight.
If he's not able to grow down to that leg really tight like he did, I mean, that just shows you right there. He was not in there.
What an incredible comeback from Gerardo Graniel. Welcome back to Combate Global. An incredible comeback, an incredible head kick knockout. Omar Amador will give us the details.
A 4 minutos 25 segundos del segundo asalto, una patada al rostro espectacular pone fila a este combate. At 4 minutes and 25 seconds in the second round, spectacular kick to the face puts an end to this fight. Para el ganador por knockout, for the winner by knockout, de México, Gerardo Terrier Graniel.
And there is Graniel alongside El Jefe Campbell McLaren. A huge comeback. A fight that was all action throughout with a fighter who made the adjustment. Gerardo Graniel wins it by head kick in round number 2. Kyle Estrada in control the entire fight. He was protesting the stoppage. He was very, very frustrated. I gotta say that shot was, and he's coming over to me right now. He's upset about it. He's upset about the stoppage. We'll discuss that in a minute. We have right now Rodolfo Roman. We'll talk to the winner when we come back.
Okay, aquí estamos. Here we are with the winner, Gerardo, Graniel. Congratulations, felicitaciones por esta pelea. Primeramente, qué tremendo knockout. What an awesome knockout with that kick. Eso lo practicaste. Comenzaste un poco lento en el primer asalto, pero después en el segundo pues cambió. In the first round, you started off a little slow, then you warmed up, and the fight was yours.
Sí, la verdad, primero que nada, muchísimas gracias al público que está aquí hermoso, gracias a Combate Global, a Campbell, a Padilla, a todos por tomarme en cuenta una vez más. La verdad estoy muy contento con esta empresa, gracias a la gente de Ciudad del Carmen que vino a apoyarme, mis patrocinadores de PJE. Y pues bueno, fue una patada que estuvimos practicando, no es coincidencia. Ustedes saben que en este medio nada es coincidencia, no es suerte, todo es la gloria para todos los peleadores que participan aquí. Y pues nada, el trabajo está hecho, la verdad. Yo solamente subo aquí a llevar a cabo todo el conocimiento que me implican mis profesores. Esta victoria es de Doyer Montaño, desde luego. De hecho, la combinación tiene su nombre, la Doyer Special. Y pues bueno, apenas me la dijo, accionamos.
Okay, thank you very much for everyone for coming out here and supporting me, and especially for those that came all the way from Mexico. And that kick, I've been practicing over and over again. Shout out to my coach, Perry Montaño, who's here in his house, and actually he just competed here recently. Bueno, con esta victoria, lo que vi es que a veces se tenían las manos abajo. Era todo de tiempo. ¿Cuándo es que exactamente dice, aquí es que voy a conectar esta patada? In this fight, we know that he had his hand down at times. And when did you find the right time to hit that kick?
Sabes, creo que tengo un problemita que tengo que trabajar en el gimnasio solamente ahí. Y es algo que es bueno ser autocrítico. Soy un peleador que viene como que de menos a más. Y el primer round, pues obviamente estratégico, pero siempre es un poquito frío, como dices tú, manos abajo, pero también al mismo tiempo vimos que él también bajaba mucho las manos. Y creo que el cardio era el factor clave que estaba a mi lado, y yo apenas venía como que subiendo mi nivel de juego, ¿no? Como que me iba entrando en ritmo apenas en el round, y pues vimos la oportunidad y pues finalizamos la pelea.
It's something that I need to fix on my own. It's always, I critique myself all the time, something that I need to practice. I did have my hands down, but I practiced it, I learned from it, and look, it came out at the right time. Bueno, ¿qué quieres ahora? ¿Qué es próximamente para el Terrier? What do you want next? What's the next spot that you want? Anyone in particular in your division? ¿Alguien en tu división que quieres pelear?
Yo no soy para elegir peleadores, yo quiero pelear contra lo mejor de lo mejor. Quiero que Ciudad del Carmen, mi tierra, donde soy, mi isla, que nadie la conoce, sea conocida a nivel mundial, a nivel Latinoamérica, y al que cambie, al que los matchmakers me quieran poner, yo encantado. Yo estoy peleando aquí seriamente en esta jaula con todo el respeto para que me den la oportunidad por ese cinturón mundial. No hay campeón en las 125 libras y creo que, bueno, hay buenos candidatos aquí en la liga, en la división, que podemos disputarlo.
Well, I just want to put my city on the map, Ciudad del Carmen. That's what I'm here for. I'm very grateful and honored to fight for Combate Global. And listen, I want a title, so let's go ahead, put it on my waist. Bueno, tremenda victoria. Ahora, ¿cuándo quería regresar a la jaula a competir otra vez? When do you want to return back and fight?
Ya, yo estoy listo. Yo ya estoy entrenando luego unos días de pasarla con la familia, con mi gente y a entrenar nuevamente al gimnasio. Apenas me llame la empresa, aquí voy a estar.
I'm ready to go. I'll just take a couple of days or whatnot, but I'll be back in the gym and ready to go. Gerardo, felicitaciones. México, felicidades. Ya regresamos con más Adentro la Jaula. We'll be right back with more action inside la jaula of Combate Global.
We have been on fire tonight in La Jaula. Welcome back to Combate Global. This is a place where Latin warriors throw down, and tonight has been absolutely no exception. It's going to continue at 170 pounds. That's right, the welterweights on display. Bojorquez versus Medina, both guys who don't know how to take a backward step. You know what they're great at? It's going for the finish in La Jaula. Also Hernandez versus Hracho, the ladies getting it on 170. It delivers throughout MMA. In La Jaula, no exception. Both of these fighters, very, very aggressive. To you, what's the key difference tonight between these two?
The key difference is going to be Medina. If you looked at that last fight, he got a defeat. It's a different man now. He has to come out different from that. He needs to be more pressure on Bojorquez. Bojorquez, keep doing what you're doing. You know, you've had much success. Ever since he had that loss, which is about 2 years ago or whatnot, it's a different man. He has been on a rampage, defeating his opponents and making it oh so easy.
But can you be a victim of your own success? Bojorquez, walks forward, dares you to hit him, right? Chin high, dares his opponents to bang. That requires a chin that maybe Medina can take advantage of. What do you think of that?
That's going to be the difference. If Medina sticks to that game plan, now we're going to have to see a different side of Bojorquez being on the defensive instead of being on the offensive. So what is he all about? Or will we see him on the ground? He's more of a stand-up guy. Why not test the ground? Will we see that evolution of him of being a mixed martial artist in Silent Hala? We'll find out.
Well, speaking of testing the ground game, that's what Daniela Hernandez wants to do against Kayla Hracho, the decorated boxer, versus the grappler brawler. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Combate Global. You see the ladies in the ring. Kayla Hracho on the left in black, and her opponent, Daniela Tiny Mexa Hernandez on the right. This is what's hard to understand is Kayla Hracho is only 5'3", and yet seems to tower over her opponent on camera. Hernandez, incredibly short. You're going to see that when we look at the numbers as they go head-to-head in the 105-pound division. The atomweight's about to get it on. You see the 4-year age advantage, but it's 4'9" for Daniela Hernandez. It leaps off the page. Omar, and look at right here, 4'9" to 5'2". Rarely does Hracho tower over an opponent. That's why.
And that is going to be the difference here, Jimmy. If Hernandez is able to use that wrestling against a taller fighter, if she's able to pressure her in, go down for the legs, that could be the victory for her.
Now, Hracho, of course, a decorated amateur boxer. That's what got her on the radar of Dean Thomas, who invited her down to train with American Top Team, but it's a tough style to translate to MMA. It is very, very difficult to translate boxing to MMA. The footwork is different. Everything's different. Can she do it tonight? That is a very, very interesting question, but we'll see in La Jaula how it works out, because she's got the training to be a complete mixed martial artist. Once again, American Top Team, Dean Thomas taking an interest in her.
Thiago Alvarez is cornering her tonight here this evening. Thiago Alvarez.
The Pitbull? The Pitbull. Yeah, I know the Pitbull very well. I'm around a lot of Brazilians, man. The Pitbull. Thiago Alvarez, my boy. We'll see how it goes. Omar, get us started.
Damas y caballeros, ya estamos listos para continuar con mucha más acción en este duelo de damas a un peso pactado de 105 libras. 3 asaltos de 5 minutos, sí señor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for this fight of, Clash of Ladies. Set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes at a catch weight of 105 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are Mark Streisand, James Lázaro y Ricardo Celis. Estamos listos, el momento ha llegado para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, now introducing out of the blue corner. Entra con un récord invicto de 4 victorias sin derrotas. She steps in with an undefeated record of 4 victories, never seen the loss. Vistiendo todo de rojo, wearing all red. She registers 105.4 pounds. Registró un peso oficial de 105.4 libras. Es de Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, Daniela Tiny Mexa Hernandez. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now her opponent out of the red corner. Entra con un récord de 4 victorias, 4 derrotas. She steps in with a record of 4 victories and 4 losses. Vistiendo todo de negro, wearing all black. Registró 105.8 libras en la báscula. She steps in at 105.8 pounds. Es de Reading, Pennsylvania. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Kayla Hracho. Y el referee para este combate, el puertorriqueño Ramón Ramos.
Any questions on this side? Any questions? ¿Ninguna pregunta? ¿Toca? God bless both.
That's right, the ladies underway. Kayla Hracho versus Daniela Hernandez. Daniela Hernandez in the, looks like the orange. And it is Kayla Hracho in the black. And we are underway. Johnny Eblin in the corner, of course, of Kayla Hracho. So is the Pitbull, Thiago Alvarez. Both fighters.
Oh!
Already, jab right to the chin.
Whoa, I didn't even feel it. That's how fast Hracho is, and now she's going to the ground game, and we've seen some of that groundwork that she has. You talked about earlier, okay, boxing. Has she applied some of that other tools? We're seeing it here tonight, Jimmy, already. Hasn't even been a minute yet into the fight.
Daniela Hernandez going right to her instincts, going for the wrestling. She represented Mexico in the Pan American Wrestling Championships. Recently retired from wrestling, but she spent years on the mat. You see right there, going for the leg immediately under duress.
It's natural instinct to go for the legs.
She is trying to clear the cobwebs as Kayla Hracho trying to isolate the left arm of Daniela Hernandez. Almost inverted.
But then we go into the wrestling, but what about the jiu-jitsu? You know, what does she know? What can she bring to the table?
And how good are her escapes from here as Kayla Hracho working hard on that arm.
She's not letting go of that arm, Jimmy. Kayla Hracho wants to finish off this fight very early on.
Also, if the angle of the hip switches, a lot of triangle danger here. About a million things that can go wrong right now for Daniela Hernandez.
Yes.
And we're
Right
not
there,
even 2 minutes in, right?
She has those legs tight, Jimmy.
Yeah, she maybe cinch up the triangle here, but looks like Hernandez finally getting some space.
There she got out.
Her head is out.
Now this is when the wrestling comes into play, Jimmy. She's able to take her down. Maybe get some ground and pound work there. Some knee. There are the knees.
And the clinch is now in guillotine position, going hard for it.
But look at Kayla. They're trying to wrap that leg around, not allowing her to push up the hip.
Kayla Hracho now looking for space, arm in guillotine. Daniela Hernandez putting her hips hard into this finish.
Yeah, but I don't think she has that deep yet. Look at just the neck there, a little bit out.
And no guard right now, not really able to activate her hips when it comes to this guillotine. But how the momentum swings back and forth in this sport. Hracho dropped her with a jab in the opening seconds.
The damage could be done here, Jimmy, with those knees. There's the escape for Hracho. Now we got to fight.
Come back to the center where the decorated amateur boxers ready to ply her trade. Daniela Hernandez has already felt the power. Dropped by a simple jab. One of the themes last week, and a little bit of a theme so far this week, once again, is round number one doesn't mean you're going to lose the fight.
It's like a comeback story.
Tonight, right? Combate Global has become a home of the comeback.
And it's always great to see, and just in sports in general, right? When you have someone, a team, an individual losing, and then you come back.
It ain't over till it's over. And when I was studying Kayla Hracho for this fight, as I was sitting there watching her tape, and the first word that occurred to me is picky. She's picky with her shots. She's not a volume.
She doesn't waste it, no.
She doesn't waste it.
No.
Stays behind the jab, can throw an excellent right hand. She doesn't throw it if she doesn't think it's going to land.
And crisp.
Yeah. Not a volume striker. She throws very, very straight, very, very tight. Great combination again, surprisingly, going for a takedown of her own.
Now, I'm sure if I'm K-Rock, she had a split decision victory. She had a split decision defeating La Jaula. I want to get away from the splits.
Exactly.
Right? I want to win this in nice fashion.
Yeah, you don't want the finish or a dominant performance, right? Judges make their night easy.
Because, yes, a win is a win. But that split in there, it's like, ah.
And the idea that you could have done just a little bit more is what keeps you awake at night as a competitor. Right now, Kayla Hracho keeping the pressure on Daniela Hernandez. Daniela, a standout wrestler. Once again, represented Mexico in the Pan American Games. Oh, nice shots over the top.
Another classic USA versus Mexico clash inside La Jaula.
Oh, another good left.
What I'm liking here,
chin.
What I'm liking from K-Rock, Jimmy, is in that position there that she was really pressuring Hernandez to La Jaula, and that's going to kill a wrestler.
Nice sharp punches. Daniela Hernandez winging those shots a bit. You know, she said she's been doing boxing herself, but a lot of her punches a lot wider than those of Kayla Hracho. As we're ending round number 1. Great round so far for the boxer from ATT. It's like you don't have a choice but to throw the wider punches. You're not, the straight punches aren't going to land.
Yes, but
your opponent's
you have the kicks.
Straight punches.
But you have the kicks, right?
For sure.
And that's one thing that you just have to adapt to the kicks. And you could always chop down a tall tree with the legs. Let's see what we can see. There it is. Right, that was the opening minute of the first round. And I'm listening right into the corner. I'll try and translate as much as I can here. There's a lot of head movement. So that's when that boxing comes into play. Because she told me she was working a lot of the boxing, but we're looking at the highlights here from that first round. There's a little bit of a grappling there, almost an opportunity for K-Rock to get a submission, but the fight ended up going right back to the feet again, Jim.
You see Thiago Alves, Johnny Eblin, two standouts from American Top Team in the corner of Kayla Hracho. And gotta like the way their fighter fought in round number 1.
There's nothing to take away from K-Rock. She did what she had to do. She looked very good in there.
Start of round number 2. Kayla Hracho in the black trunks and black top versus Daniela Hernandez in the red.
And listen, Hernandez has a lot of pressure. We haven't really touched on the fact that she's undefeated.
Yeah. She's
going in there with a 4-0 record, and she's going up against a more experienced fighter who's 4-4.
Look at the response to the kick. It's going to be punches from Kayla Hracho.
Great feints there from K-Rock.
Hands very, very high. No defensive lapses, but she shows she's not afraid to throw those kicks.
Not whatsoever, but I haven't seen much of the wrestling from Hernandez.
No.
I guess she's very confident about this boxing, but haven't seen from that as well.
Well, round number 1, we have open scoring. No surprise, Kayla Hracho, 10-9, all 3 judges' scorecards. Remember, her corners are aware of that. They can tell the fighter. They're aware of it before we are in the broadcast booth. And Daniela Hernandez just hasn't seemed to have found a way around those straight punches. Like the path to the takedown is blocked by that fist.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of feinting and switch, and it's about timing.
Misdirection.
It's a lot of timing. It's about time. There it is. That's what they wanted.
Deep single leg and got it done, but Hracho not staying on her butt. Excellent job getting that leg back.
Well, that's the type of training you get at ATT, Jimmy.
And they can do it all over there in Coconut Creek.
I'll tell you a good example, Amanda Nunes.
Yes.
Right before she got into ATT, those takedown defense, you couldn't take her down.
Excellent job reaching.
Robbie Lawler.
Yep, reaching back. Oh, looking for the head. The problem is you can give up your back in that position. Kind of a modified crucifix position here. Very dangerous right now for Daniela Hernandez. What we call a Grammy roll in wrestling. It works to put somebody on their back, but it can be dangerous here.
Very right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
If Hracho can pop her head out, she'll have the back. She's got it.
Now she may have the almost there to get the mount.
Almost there in full mount. Left leg still in that little bit of that half guard position. Daniela Hernandez threatening with that guillotine. Not going to work there from half guard.
Great way to transition to the side, but Hernandez still holding on. Not much there to do for Hernandez.
A little rookie mistake going back into half guard. She had side control. And you hear her corner saying elbows now. Go to those short weapons. Don't have a lot of space, very chest to chest. That's where elbows, short punches, so important.
Not a lot of power, but enough to really throw you off. And
look at the face of Daniela Hernandez having to deal with the physical pressure of a bigger fighter on top of you.
And we're seeing it right here.
Rodolfo, you know well as I do, that just wears you out, having that physical pressure.
Exhausting. And you just, it's like, how the heck do I get out of this thing? You know what I mean?
What do? You explode and maybe leave something behind it. No good options from there.
But even with the explosion, it's about timing. When that person gets off to transition to the side, you have to find the right opportunity.
Daniela Hernandez using Z-guard, now rolling for a knee bar. Trying to go through if she can get the ankle. Good job from Hracho, triangling her own leg. That's great defense from there. Someone's after your leg, put weight on it. That's the easiest defense.
That's all it is. Now, big mistake there from Hernandez. She gave her back.
Short hammer fist, but not going to do a ton of damage from here. Hracho so far on top. Judges, whoever's on top is usually winning. And nice short shots.
Good shot there from Hracho.
Oh, nice. Beautiful right hand. That one may have stunned Hernandez. That was a good one.
Hracho's just looking like a stud in there right now, Jimmy.
You know, leaps and bounds above her last fight, right?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Look at that. Just look at that right there. That right there. Look at that. She waits for her to get up.
Can I throw in a Sakuraba reference?
Sure. Yeah.
Sakuraba-esque in Pride. Going for the leg.
Google it if you don't know what we're talking about.
If you're too young to understand it, look at it.
Oh, there's that left.
Good shot from Daniela Hernandez, but a lot of ground to make up in this fight. So far, good stuff from Kayla K-Rock Hracho. Not just good strikes, but good angling after she punches.
You know what I like about K-Rock is that she brings that boxing stance, but she makes it work in MMA.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
because she still has that very boxing type of stance.
Yeah, but good angling, good footwork as we end round number 2. Another great round for Kayla Hracho.
She's definitely looking like $100 in there.
Very, very good. Hey, use your jab to get her a little close. Sometimes double up on that jab, right? Whenever she's self double up.
There it is. We're taking like some of the highlights from that second round. Hernandez attempted to go for that single leg, but great takedown defense from K-Rock. You talked about it, Jimmy. That evolution as a fighter, we're seeing it here. Developing in all skills. And she is taking on a seasoned pro wrestler here tonight in Salahala, but it's been K-Rock. That's just been the story here tonight with that striking. Cutting the corners, making it nearly impossible for the tiny mechs to go down to the ground.
And not breathing heavy as we start round number 3. Gas tank looks good for both of these ladies. But it is Daniela Hernandez on your right in the red that needs to flip the script. She is behind. Kayla Hracho will have the scorecards in a second. Remember, open scoring here at Combate Global as we begin round number 3. And it has been all Kayla Hracho. Amateur boxer, decorated in the boxing ring, made the transition to MMA to help up Dean Thomas of American Top Team. So far, she has looked fantastic.
She looks superb in there, like a seasoned pro.
Daniela Hernandez, in her previous fight, she's been able to use those wide punches to kind of get inside and body lock.
But you can't do that against a K-Rock. She's going to get you.
Exactly.
Because she's so technical. She'll let you do it, and then you find that spot.
The way she's been able to close distance in past fights, not working now. And there's the open scoring. No surprise, 2 rounds to none for Kayla Hracho.
And
2018, all 3 judges' scorecards.
What I like about Hracho, Jimmy, is how she plays the distance. She leaves that distance in between, not allow her to go in for the wrestling, for the takedown.
What do they say? You're tall, fight tall.
Right.
Long, fight long. She is fighting long and tall, despite just being 5'3". Against opponents 4'9". You've got the height advantage. Use it.
Now, as a shorter fighter, in order for you to go in, you have to take a hit or two to get. I mean, you just have to. There's no way out of it.
Now, we were discussing before this fight happened, you want to be a pressure fighter, you got to have the chin of a pressure fighter. You have to be willing to take the risks of a pressure fighter, and so far they haven't worked out. And also, so far, a very composed fight from Kayla Hracho, right? She hasn't sold out for the big shot. She hasn't said, oh, I'm going to get the knockout right now and leaned in anything. It's been tight. It's been accurate and straight.
There she went. Great body shot to Hernandez. Hernandez is just not, she's just not bringing it right now.
Hasn't found the way in. The path has not been open. It's been blocked with straight punches. And the numbers, although they favor Hracho, they haven't told the tale. Hracho has landed the much more effective strikes, but still ahead in the count. 60 punches to 49 from Hernandez. 24 kicks to only 6 for Hernandez. Takedown, only 1 for Hernandez. It's been a non-factor so far in this fight.
And those kicks for Hracho, they're not for knockout purposes. It's more for setups, to set you up to come in with the shots, with the striking.
And range finders, keeping her opponent at the right distance. Cannot lose focus. Half halfway through round number 3. This has been, the last couple weeks have been all about the comeback, and Hracho doesn't want to let that happen.
Hernandez trying to do the collar and elbow lock up, but Hracho wasn't having anything of it. This is not Rusty. Oh, good way though, positioning Hernandez's head, because if those hands weren't up.
Now Hracho's starting to feel it, finger toward the ceiling. I know she's 2 minutes away from going over 500 in her MMA career. Close to giving Daniela Hernandez her first loss in MMA.
Yeah, see, Hernandez is trying. She's trying to pressure, but as soon as she walks in, she meets a jab.
Stay behind the stick, and the rest of the fight works out. Sound advice in any combat sport, MMA included.
So that's why here you have to go maybe pick an ankle. You know, work the ankles and pick the ankles, go lower.
So far it's been Hracho with the superior footwork.
Yep.
Now you're starting to get into desperation territory, approaching a minute left, round number 3.
Yeah, right now,
we know from the open scoring that it's finish or bust for Daniela Hernandez. Tiny Mex has been on the wrong side of a lot of those punches.
Again, that tie-up, just Hracho's just so effective with elbows, these little short shots. Yeah, right now it's just a desperate moment, Jimmy. You saw how she put up her shoulder there?
Yep.
And she backed up.
Now we're seeing Kayla Hracho press the action just a little bit. 45 seconds left to go in round number 3.
That's just body language, Jimmy. Your body telling me I don't want any of that.
With 30 seconds left, the question is, will Kayla Hracho let her hands fly, try to get the finish, or be content to go to the judges? She knows she has this one sewn up. You know she wants the finish. How hard is she willing to get it as Hernandez trying to land big shots under 20 seconds?
She's going for it.
Not backing up in a fight that she has in the bag.
There we
10
go.
seconds left.
Combate
Global. She's feeling it. You're in the howler. Throw everything you got, and she is doing that. Beautiful fight from Kayla Hracho. Daniela Hernandez giving it everything to the final bell. Now, this was the night of the boxer. Kayla Hracho, hands in the air. Beautiful performance.
Good stuff.
Kayla Hracho has to be feeling great. Her team coming in to congratulate her. Johnny Eblin, Thiago Alves, standouts at American Top Team. But when we come back, Omar Amador will make it official. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Combate Global. It was an incredible performance from Kayla Hracho, but did she get the win? We find out right now.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of much more action, los jueces están todos de acuerdo. The judges are all in agreement. Para la ganadora por decisión unánime, for the winner by unanimous decision, Kayla Hracho!
No surprise there. Kayla Hracho giving Daniela Hernandez her first loss as a professional. Couldn't have looked a whole lot better.
She looked great. And again, what I'm really impressed about is she's able to take that boxing style, modify it, and apply it to an all-around fighter. She makes it look very, very good against a top-rated wrestler. Did not allow her. I think Hernandez, maybe she attempted once or twice. Look at it right here. Stand up. It's more like she forced her to come in and take her fight, which was wrong. She wanted to bring her in and box with her, and that's exactly what she did. Those kicks, they might not seem like a lot, but it set it up for this right here so she could strike with her and forcing Hernandez to come in. And it was just great stuff. Crisp boxing from K-Rock, making it look great inside La Jaula. Another victory, and this time is not a split decision, is a unanimous decision. Something that I'm sure K-Rock is going to wear her smile very, very nicely this evening.
And look at the stats. They told the tale. Great punching from Kayla Hracho. Also, excellent job with the kicks, keeping her opponent at distance. Those 2 takedowns, they were there, but they weren't factors in the fight. The wrestler never able to get her game going. Look, it's a debate as old as MMA. How much do you stick to your strengths? How much do you make yourself a complete mixed martial artist? We saw both from Kayla Hracho. Rodolfo, she clearly is a well-rounded mixed martial artist, but she didn't forget her boxing. She didn't forget her strength. She stayed behind her jab the entire time.
She knew how to incorporate it as a mixed martial artist against a wrestler. But I think one of the top keys is that footwork. You know, she was able to come in and out, able to strike, get out of the way, cut the angles, prohibiting, not allowing Hernandez to come in. Just as difficult as finding a parking spot in Miami. That's amazing. That's how good she made it, dude.
Well, the ladies threw down. They will do it again. Claudia Zamora versus Christina Pettigrew. They are coming up next, and they had quite an act to follow here in Combate Global. They will be our featured fight, but right now it is the 170-pounders, Ovidio Bojorquez. It is the welterweights in our main event tonight. Ovidio Bojorquez versus Georgie Medina. Both of these fighters extremely aggressive, trying to back their opponent up. Bojorquez, a great fighter who's known for his finishing ability. Medina coming off a disappointing loss. Bojorquez, what is he bringing tonight? Let's hear it.
Peleo yo porque es mi pasión, me gusta probarme a mí mismo en este deporte y arriesgarme. Mi mamá le gusta mucho todo esto, simplemente me dice que tengo que tener mucho cuidado, pero que ella sabe a lo que me dedico y que tiene fe todo el tiempo en que las cosas van a salir bien. Lo que me ha enseñado pelear es que aprendes para cualquier tipo de situación, cómo ser más paciente, cómo ser más resiliente y aguantar sobre todo en la vida muchos problemas y cosas y enfrentarlos de una mejor manera. Solo hay 2 lugares, ¿no?, en este deporte y pues a meterle todas tus ganas y pelear con todo. Hay que estar conscientes que siempre se puede. Va a ser una buena pelea y espero yo poder dar lo mejor y tratar de sacar ese knockout.
Bojorquez, we know what he brings. It is aggression. The question against Medina, can his chin stand up? You think he gets tested tonight?
We're going to find out. He's lost once. He's lost once, so we could have tested that, but we all know that when you start off as a pro, things change. You're not the fighter that you were 3, 4, 5 fights ago. So this is a different man, and he's on a rampage. He's been destroying all of his opponents, making it oh so easy. So let's see if Bojorquez could do the same here tonight and find another highlight reel.
Welcome back inside Univision Studios. Jimmy Smith alongside Rodolfo Romano. I get asked a lot, what's the worst part of combat sports? What is the worst feeling? The worst feeling in combat sports is what Georgie Medina felt the last time out. I could have done a little bit more. We all run into a better fighter. It happens, jiu-jitsu, striking, we all get beat up somehow. But if you feel you could do more, that's what keeps you up at night. But it also makes you go to the gym. Do you agree with that with Medina's last performance?
You could have done more, and you have to apply it and perfect yourself. And getting up and just putting that slump aside, starting fresh, that's the key here tonight, Jimmy.
Now let's see if that motivates Medina. Let's hear from him.
My dad had wrestled, and my mom was fighting in the hood, she would say. Come from a fighting family, so they love it. It's something that I enjoy, something that makes me feel alive, just challenging myself to be a better version of me. In my head, he's the best fighter I'm ever gonna face for this moment. And that's what pushes me to the best of my ability. I just wanna go in there and have an idea of what's gonna happen, but still write my own destiny. I'm hoping you bring the best version of yourself, because I will. So I can't wait to see you fight night. This is where the hype train stops. This is the last station.
There is a very cerebral Georgie Medina ready to enter La Jaula. His opponent, Ovidio Bojorquez, behind him. Welcome back to Combate Global. La Jaula is about to be full of the welterweight division. That's right. Omar, you know what to do. Get us started, buddy.
Entrando a la jaula, Ovidio Bojorquez.
He trains out of Rise Combat Sports, calls himself a freestyle fighter. Amateur record 8-0. Been training since he was 13 years old. The man, every time you talk to him, exudes confidence, does he not?
But what's scary about him is that he almost shows no emotion. Just look at him walking in there. It's like, it's like another day in the office, right? Just stepping in, opening up, but he's so scary. Never fall asleep on this guy because he can hit you where you least expect it. Now, you're facing a George Medina who has that background in kickboxing is going to be making it very interesting because if Medina sticks to that Muay Thai full frontal aggressive type of fight, that's something different that we haven't seen Bojorquez inside La Jaula. He's seen more of that type of fighter that moves around a lot and he has to chase and he'll put the pressure. So that could be the difference in this fight. I'm really curious to see what Medina will bring and if Bojorquez will be on the defensive this time around.
Yeah, but that stoic face not going to reveal his game plan. Let's hear from his opponent, Omar Amador. Bring him in.
Y ahora su oponente hace lo propio, Georgie Medina.
He says he has come here tonight to end the streak of Bojorquez. That is what he is here to do. Incredibly focused. He's a game planner. He likes to study his opponents. He says he's seen weaknesses. He's going to exploit them tonight.
And there's no doubt, Jimmy. I'm sure that he's seen those videos and he's seen his own video of his previous fight. The difference is he has to bring that Georgie Medina that we know that we've seen inside La Jaula, that aggressive, I'm gonna chase you type of fighter. That could be the difference in this fight. But he has to be very technical. He can't leave himself exposed or vulnerable. He can't leave any open gaps because that is Bojorquez. That's when he's dangerous. He's able to sneak in those knees. Just right now, I just saw him warming up those knees. So he's ready to use them here tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, Georgie Medina, experienced kickboxer. Very tight, very explosive. It's about keeping consistency over 15 minutes. That was missing from his last performance. Can't afford that tonight in the main event here to Combate Global. And here is the head-to-head. 2 years older is Georgie Medina. Slight height advantage for Bojorquez and a slight reach advantage for Medina, but all the numbers very, very close. The tail of this fight is not in the numbers. It's en La Jaula. Omar Amador is going to get us started. Can't wait for it.
Damas y caballeros, ya estamos listos para el momento que todos han estado esperando. The main event of the evening. Este es un combate pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división de peso welter. This is a fight set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the welterweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Vicente Rodríguez, Mark Strayson, James Lázaro. Damas y caballeros, ha llegado el momento para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing in the blue corner. Entra con un récord de 4 victorias y 1 derrota. He steps in with a record of 4 victories and 1 loss. Vistiendo verde puro mexicano. Wearing Mexican green, yes. Weighing at 170.4 pounds. Registró un peso oficial de 170.4 libras. Es de Sonora, México, vía Tucson, Arizona, Ovidio Bojorquez. Y ahora presentando presentando a su oponente en la esquina roja. Now introducing his opponent in the red corner. Entra con un récord de 2 victorias y 1 derrota. He steps in with a record of 2 victories, 1 loss. Vistiendo de blanco y su bandera americana. Wearing white and the American flag. Un peso oficial de 170 libras. Es de Chicago, Illinois, Georgie Lionheart Medina. Y el referee para este encuentro, el internacional Raúl Porrata.
Obedezcan mis órdenes y protejan todo el tiempo. Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Toquen guantes, touch gloves, back to your corners.
They're somehow cutting the tension with a knife. That's how it feels right now.
Didn't you get the chills when they just...
I am feeling it. Big welterweights.
Love it. Look at Bojorquez. Just chill, calm, relaxed, composed. Look at Medina.
It is the calm before the storm right now.
Ready?
In the
Like
Jaula.
fire and ice.
Ready? Fight!
And round number 1, we are underway. Bojorquez in the green trunks. His opponent, Georgie Medina from Chicago, Illinois, in the white.
Big difference. I know it's very early in the fight, but Medina here was trying to put in the offense right from the start. Switching stance, working the low kicks. There it is.
Oh, nice chopping low kick. Bojorquez answering with the right hand. Not a bad approach. I get kicked, I'm gonna throw that right hand over the top.
Tall, big dudes. And as you mentioned, Jimmy, very evenly matched up in height, reach.
And the numbers don't tell the tale here. It's gonna be in the tactics. As you said, we'll know in the first couple minutes how this one's gonna work out.
Well, the respect is definitely there. But Georgie capitalizing on those low kicks.
Another thing in the arsenal of Medina is a good double leg. Ovidio Bojorquez, though, ready for that attack. Good hips on the sprawl. Neither one of these guys, really accomplished wrestlers by any stretch of the imagination. They're much more comfortable on the feet, but it's there. It's in the back pocket.
Yeah, the chances of you seeing some wrestling here are very low, Jimmy. I wouldn't bet on it Vegas.
It's one of those things where if you're not efficient at it, it costs you a lot of gas. You're not going to go there if you don't have to.
Now, you could use it to throw them off, right?
Yep. Got to make sure they're ready for it. Medina going back to that leg kick.
Those kicks have been very effective so far for Medina.
It's also something you put money in the bank. You want to do that early on in a fight. You don't want to start leg kicking late. You want to leg kick early. Opponent, you want to have trouble angling and moving.
Look at that left leg's already a little bit bruised up.
Bojorquez, usually the guy walking his opponent down, making the jaula small. Forced to kind of play the back at this point. Play the outside.
You can't do that type of dirty style boxing against Medina if he sticks to his bread and butter, that stand-up game. Look how he just moves it in.
Excellent range. Good footwork to keep Bojorquez on the outside. Going for the double leg again. This time he gets it.
But now he got some groundwork.
Yep, guillotine attempt, but no guard, no guillotine. It's not going to work from half guard.
Bojorquez just looked at his camp. I guess he just has the timing.
New position, new advice. Now, what do I do now? Keep pressure on your opponent.
It's one thing.
Going around the hips, trying to keep Bojorquez, butt to the mat.
That's one thing, Jimmy, as a fighter, always, if you are going to be in the clinch, if you are going to be in a corner in boxing or whatever, try to go as close as you can to your corner so you can hear your coach.
Yeah. Pick him up, drop him right in front of your coach, right in front of your corner. Medina right now opposite his corner, but good stuff. Getting a brief crucifix. Inside control. Medina so far fighting a very disciplined fight against Ovidio Bojorquez.
Georgie definitely has a good tactic here tonight. Pressuring his foe, working the legs, and now here on the ground game. I asked Bojorquez, what about your ground game? Because we haven't seen too much of it. He goes, no, I'm very confident. Well, we're seeing it here right now.
Hey, you mean it's hard to be confident on the bottom. It takes years and years and years to be confident on your back in MMA. A lot of people are confident on top. It's a different game.
And it is. It is. One thing is being great on the feet, but on the ground, I mean, that's just a whole different ballgame.
There are a handful of really excellent guards in MMA over the history of MMA. And right now, Medina doing a great job making sure this doesn't end up in the guard.
Oh.
Vicious stuff from side control. Staying on the hips. Good transition, trying to
giving the back.
One hook in.
Bojorquez in dangerous waters. Good way of Medina grabbing onto that left wrist of Bojorquez, and he's already busted open.
Good job opening up Bojorquez. Yep, it's somewhere near the eye or the nose. Can't see from this angle. We're on the opposite side of it. Now that single leg position trying to scramble, but Medina having none of it. Looking for the rear naked. Bojorquez right now trying to defend his neck and turn at the same time. That's hard to do.
First time we see Bojorquez in trouble inside La Jaula. Medina looking at oh so good. This is a different type of guy. This is the guy that we've seen here in La Jaula. That's a scary dude, training with the BFS, home to Baby Bull Gonzalez, who could not be here tonight due to an injury. And so many great fighters.
Medina right now being very cautious with the ride, not trying to do anything extraordinary, just letting his right hand go as the seconds tick away. A round number one of a near perfect round for Georgie Medina.
You're doing good striking, but you need use your jab when you're throwing to set it up. Okay, nothing free. When he throws that leg kick, you got to throw after him. Hey, you defended the takedown good in the first one, but when in the second one, you need to get to that underhook. Here. Have a little more water. Hey. Hey, this is round two, okay? He's getting tired now, okay? So now it's your turn, okay, to turn on, okay? Footwork, okay? I need you to work your footwork, okay? Footwork, okay?
We're set to begin round number two. Ovidio Bojorquez versus Georgie Medina. And the face doesn't always tell the story of the round. It does in this case. Bojorquez, you can see the damage on his face. Medina, great job in round number one.
Just absolutely good stuff from Medina. That's the Medina that we've seen here inside La Jaula, just wrecking his foes.
Bojorquez fighting like he is behind. Very aggressive to start round number two, but giving up the takedown. Guillotine position, arm in.
I mean, he made it look so easy. Just scooped him up very easy. Didn't even have to work for it. It was just there for him.
Ground and pound is what really opened up this fight in round number one. Able to pass guard. Good stuff from side control. Nice short elbows.
We touched earlier, Jimmy, as far as stamina. Right now, we're in that second round. Chances are that we may go to the third.
And it looks like Medina, of course, the judges saw what we saw, 10-9. All three judges' scorecards for Georgie Medina. Bojorquez, aggressive to start the round, but it led to an easy takedown. We talked about it, having that takedown in your back pocket, right? Check the aggression of your opponent. Bojorquez is finding out the hard way. Medina, well-rounded fighter.
And that's exposing him. That's where he needs to get the work done on the ground. Bojorquez just in that first round, we didn't see much of him. No attempts, no arm, nothing. He was just there. At one point, it was more like he was just covering, protecting his head. And usually when a fighter's protecting his head, that's like, hey, whoa. Not much I can do from this position. Let me wait for the bell.
You're waiting for the bell. Exactly.
Right.
Right now, 3.5 minutes still left in round number two. There's no waiting for the bell.
Not here.
Now, if you are in the corner of Bojorquez at this point, are you, foot on the feet, push off, scramble, do whatever you got to do?
That's all you got to get him off you and play the distance.
Take the risk, right?
Right, you have to at this point. You know the outcome.
Yeah, a lot of times people, aren't first.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Open guard, push away, right?
That's it, push away.
Now, the problem is a lot of times you leave something behind. Your opponent can pass, but
it's dangerous, but at this point.
Very true. Good ground and pound from Medina. Tight, controlled. Nothing big. Not going for no fade or overhands here. It's tight and controlled.
But enough to do damage. And if he has to wait for the third to finish him off, then he will. But he's prepping it up.
And, we talked a lot about the last fight of Medina where he didn't show consistency over 3 rounds. Started out strong, but then faded late in fights. And it seems like he took that to heart. in training camp for this fight.
He's peppering up Bojorquez, setting it up for a finish.
It's like a bad cut around the right eyebrow of Bojorquez. You know, the placement looks good. Doesn't look like an eyelid, doesn't look like a fight-stopping kind of cut, but it's going to affect his vision, especially stuck in this position. On your back, that blood just pools right in your eye.
And he continues with that onslaught of punches and shots.
Oh,
it's
now
just a
curling
matter of
up.
time.
This might be it.
Yeah, there it is.
The referee has seen enough. A beautiful stoppage for Georgie Medina.
And
couldn't script it any better.
That's the Medina that was not there last time around. I'm sure he looked at that tape. He kicked himself in the butt and he said, no, I need to come back. I need to be the man that I am. And this is who he is here tonight. A very vicious man.
Love you, Catones. Medina family, love you guys. Chicago.
And a shout out to Chicago.
Chi-town.
Unbelievably clean victory for Georgie Medina over Bojorquez, who at this point, up into this fight, had looked like an absolute destroyer. Not tonight. He was the victim against Medina.
Go get yourself a deep dish pizza. You know those things are good in Chi-town.
Oh, that is absolutely, no, this is my favorite. I absolutely love it, man. Go to Lumonati's and enjoy great performance for Georgie Medina. 170 pounds, he is victorious. When we come back, Omar Amador will make it official. Welcome back inside La Jaula Combate Global. Ovidio Bojorquez not ready for Georgie Medina. We'll make it official. Take it away, Omar.
Después de una seguidilla de golpes en el segundo asalto, 3 minutos y 4 segundos del segundo asalto, el referee Raúl Porrata detiene este encuentro y le otorga la victoria. After 3 minutes and 4 seconds of the second round, a series of punches without response forced the referee Raúl Porrata to stop the fight. Para el ganador por nocaut técnico, for the winner by TKO, Georgie Lionheart Medina.
You know that picture of the Miami skyline before this fight? I would say that's the ceiling for this kid right now. Absolutely unbelievable.
Absolutely great performance from Georgie. That's the guy that we've seen inside La Jaula, just wrecking his foes. Good way to pick it up. Good performance from this young man.
More action to come. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Combate Global. Welcome back to Combate Global inside Univision Studios. Jimmy Smith alongside Rodolfo Roman. I don't know about you, Rodolfo, but I'm a believer, a little bit of positive visualization, right? You picture the perfect fight before you have it. If Medina is, that was the perfect fight. It couldn't have gone any better for him.
That's exactly what he wanted. I'm sure that's what he wanted in his previous fight, but it just didn't come out that way. But he's a different type of guy. I'm sure he reviewed that tape, and that was came out from it. Just pressure, 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 what he's good at, and he was able to just capitalize on it. And that Bojorquez puzzled. He just couldn't find a hole. He just couldn't find anything to do.
It wasn't just sharp striking. It was the double leg, great guard passes, excellent ground and pound, and safe ground and pound, right? Short elbows, short punches, and then when he can open up, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, there it is, right? Just ground and pound action. Man, look, just to cut down to the chase, he exposed Bojorquez. He exposed him to the fact that the ground, that's what he's lacking. That's what he needs to work on when he gets back here into La Jaula. He needs to see a redefined fighter instead of just the knees and the flashiness, which it's great on tape, right? It looks great on your resume. But this is MMA. And every time you get in there, you're going to see a different opponent with different type of tricks, different type of techniques, and you have to adjust. That's why it's called mixed martial arts. It's a whole bunch of disciplines mixed into one, and you never know what you're going to get.
And look at the stats, unbelievably one-sided, almost 60 punches, 59 for Georgie Medina to the 16 of Bojorquez. Almost 95% accuracy. That is a wipeout, Rodolfo.
That right there tells the tale. 59 to 16 kicks. Those calf kicks, too, were making a difference. Yeah. He was chopping him down, bringing him to pick his fight, his style of fighting. He controlled. He had the hands on the wheel. He chose what type of fight that they were going to have. And that's why Medina takes the win.
Well, who will dictate the fight this time around? Claudia Zamora taking on Christina Pettigrew. Who will break through tonight? Stay with us. Welcome back to Combate Global. There's one thing you know about La Jaula is that the ladies come to bring it every single time, and they'll be capping it off tonight. We have two fighters, one with an extensive amateur background trying to make the transition to the pros, the other incredibly well coached. Let's find out more about these two warriors stepping into La Jaula tonight to give us the nightcap we all deserve.
Yo empecé a practicar taekwondo a los 13 años, hasta los 17 años. Competí dentro de los Estados Unidos y fuera de los Estados Unidos. Mi nombre es Claudia Zamora y soy de Miami, Florida.
I've never met anything, any other activity in the world that has engaged me mentally and emotionally the way martial arts has. My name is Tina Pettigrew and I'm originally from Florida, but I fight out of San Diego, California.
Yo soy originalmente striker, pero con el MMA he desarrollado mucho. Definitivamente soy completa, pero agresiva.
The type of fighter that I am is I'll do my research on my opponent, but then I just mostly focus on my game after that.
I hope that you're ready, because I sure am.
I'm just going to show them what they hired me for, which is to take somebody out as violently as possible.
To get it started, let's go to the voice of La Jaula, Omar Amador.
Entrando a La Jaula, Claudia Zamora.
You see there, Claudia Zamora. She is intensity personified. You know, the reason I talked about her amateur background, when we were discussing this fight, you said undefeated as an amateur. Good as a professional. She hasn't quite gotten it together the way she did in the amateur ranks. Didn't make that great transition to the pros. What is lacking that she can do tonight?
Consistency. It's about consistency. I followed Claudia. She's a strong fighter. You know, tip-top shape, good hand, strike, has a lot of power in those shoulders. When she comes in with the strike, the power comes from the legs. But she'll come out strong in the first, second round, and then later, the tempo kind of slows down a bit. So maintain that. How do you maintain that? That's the key. That is what she needs to be working at, and I'm sure she has done it over at the Freedom Fighters, because they got some studs out there.
Well, let's have Omar Amador bring in her opponent for our featured fight tonight.
Y ahora su oponente, Cristina Pettigrew.
Cristina Pettigrew out of San Diego, California. Huge team out there, Alliance. Never had a chance. Great team to train with, full of great fighters. Angela Overkill Hill, my broadcast partner on radio. Of course,
La Loba has trained there.
La Loba has trained there. Dominic Cruz, right? Greatest bantamweight of all time. So she has the training partners. And, you know, when you talk to her about this fight, she talks about that killer instinct, taking somebody out. So any lack of consistency has been the issue of Zamora. That'll be dealt with very harshly by her opponent.
Yeah, and now one thing to point out, she's coming off an injury. This is the first fight since then. She went to rehab. She did all the physical stuff that she had to do to sharpen her stuff. Then comes the mental game. You know, the fact that she got injured was because she was overtrained. So how much did she put into this? You know, that whole mental aspect, you have to put that aside and come back to the fighter that you were before. And she, just like Claudia, is a strong, powerful fighter who will stand in there with you and take the shots and hit 3 or 4 times in return. So when you put this stuff here on paper, it makes for a good, fun fight.
And both incredible athletes, you can see by their physiques. But what do the numbers tell us in the head-to-head? Well, same age, but a 3-inch height advantage for Pettigrew. Reach exactly the same, similar weights. Not a lot separating these two ladies physically, just like you said, Rodolfo.
Not much whatsoever. They're very, very comparable, just pretty much very similar as fighters. I think the key is the endurance, the stamina. That will come into play when you put these two ladies inside La Jaula.
You made it about mental toughness and consistency. We'll see if that is on display tonight. Both these ladies
Ya estamos
ready to
listos para
go and
continuar
ready
con
for
mucha
Omar
más
Amador to
acción
get it ready.
con este compromiso pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división peso gallo. We are ready to continue with much more action with this fight set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the bantamweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Ricardo Celis, Vicente Rodríguez y Mark Streisand. Y ahora, the time is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, now introducing out of the blue corner. Entra con un récord de 5 victorias, 3 derrotas. She steps in with a record of 5 victories and 3 losses. Vistiendo de negro, wearing all black. Registró un peso oficial de 135.4 libras. She weighed in at 135.4 pounds. Es la chica de la casa de Miami, Florida, Claudia the Phoenix Zamora. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now her opponent out of the red corner. Entra con un récord de 3 victorias, 2 derrotas. She steps in with a record of 3 victories and 2 losses. Vistiendo todo de gris. Wearing all gray. Registró 134 libras planas. She registered 134 pounds. Es de San Diego, California. Cristina, the Predator, Pettigrew. Y el referee para este encuentro, el puertorriqueño Ramón Ramos.
Get in. All right, ladies. One for the rules in the dressing room, right? Protect yourselves at all time, okay? Any questions on blue? Any questions on red? God bless. Shake hands now. Okay.
This is our featured fight, our last one of the evening. Claudia Zamora, you see her in the black.
God bless, go!
Versus Cristina Pettigrew in the gray, and we are underway, round number 1.
You'll see right from the start, Zamora will come in, guns a-blazing. She'll come and strike. But Pettigrew not holding back.
And both these ladies fighting like it's a 1-round fight.
Zamora coming from a fighting family. Her husband, or sorry, her partner, also used to compete in mixed martial arts. He competed in La Hala a very long time ago, and now is a bare knuckle fighter. So these people eat, breathe, sleep, fighting.
Cristina Pettigrew going for the takedown briefly, letting it go. Cristina Pettigrew also works in fitness and nutrition. You know, her diet on point, her fitness on point. As you said, when you're injured overtraining, you question how much you should be training. It's not what you want to think about heading into a fight.
Yeah, and as you age, Jimmy, you know, that's even be. Hey, stick to the facts,
don't
man.
Don't look at me like that when you say, when you age. People don't know. I'm a bit older than Rodolfo.
Let's stick to the facts, Jimmy. You know, even trying to drop that, you know, when you drop that pencil, you pick it up. You know, hey, what happened there?
Knee just explodes. Knee explodes doing the dumbest things. But both these ladies are now stepping forward. Pettigrew.
That's one thing about Pettigrew. She doesn't move much, but when you sit there and strike with her and brawl, boy, she brings in the heat.
And right now, Pettigrew trying to make La Jaula small. Trying to put physical pressure on Claudia Zamora.
And she sure is. She's really making Zamora backpedal. They're moving forward. Zamora does have the advantage here that the majority of the fans are in support of her.
She's counterpunching very well. So far, hasn't been overwhelmed necessarily. She's found her opportunities to land counter shots. So far, this looks like lock'em sock'em robots. Both fighters very, very tall.
What I'm noticing,
a lot of straight punches.
That breathing from Zamora. Just look how she breathes. Not sure how much of a impact that's doing, but could it be that endurance is being tested right from the start? That she started off too fast?
Yeah, she's
too
having
strong?
to work very, very hard and very early.
See how she keeps hit that deep in and out, in and out. You usually see that, you know, later in the fight, or if, to simplify it, right? It's almost like if you're doing a deadlift, right? You have to breathe in and leave it out, because you're putting a lot of power into it. If you're breathing that heavy with just 2 minutes left, two and a half left in the first round, that's scary.
And Pettigrew not giving her any chance to rest at all, keeping the physical pressure on. Pettigrew, the Alliance trained fighters, great names out of that camp. Dominic Cruz, Angela Hill, Jessica Penne as well.
Great studs, great people to work with.
Claudia Zamora right now playing the outside, trying to angle and counterpunch. So far, hasn't given Pettigrew a reason to back off. Right, yeah.
She's countering, but not
with authority.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost like wasting the shots.
Oh, good step.
Oh, she got hit with that left jab, Jimmy. Oh, don't want to brawl.
That jab backed her up, and now Pettigrew looking to unload.
Claudia needs to use that jab. Pettigrew's coming right at her. He's letting her come, and I see Alan Lozano, her partner, just you're letting her come in. You're letting her come in.
A good leg kick, spinning Zamora all the way around.
She has to flip the roles, Jimmy, if she wants to take this victory. Put the pressure on Pettigrew. But the thing is, does she have the gas? I still see her deep breathing very early on in this fight.
She thought she'd get some kind of rest, or she'd be able to control the flow of the action. That hasn't been the case. Pettigrew all over her.
And that's one thing. You see how she'll throw, she'll give her back. Never want to do that. That's such a dangerous position.
Yeah, turning all the way around.
Not a lot of height in that.
Not a lot of spring in the step.
Not
got
much
a launch
there.
up
That's why I'm questioning the way that she's performing. Because I've seen her. She's very rapid, very fast.
But Rodolfo, you and I know all the fights we've seen and all the fights we've called, a lot of fighters, when they're winning, they have endless gas.
Right.
When they're on their back foot, suddenly it's a lot more difficult. And right now, Claudia Zamora on her back foot, but fighting back at the end of round number 1.
Fucking her up, all right? Like you're fucking working for you. So stay on it, okay? Now, let's start.
Vamos. Mira, ¿por qué cuando está tirando esa pierna derecha no le entras? Como te digo, un paso adentro, 2, 3. 2, 3. Ok, cuando vayas a ella, acuérdate que hay que borrar el ataque de ella también, con un contraataque para atrás. Ok, de 2, 3 golpes, no me tire un solo golpe. Ok, ¿Estás? ¿Ya? Ok, aquí estamos para hacer algo. Ok. Y es el momento. Así que tú estás en tu momento.
Round number 2 is underway. Claudia Zamora in the black versus Christina Pettigrew in the gray. And it has been all action from the opening bell. Mostly Pettigrew stepping forward, laying leather on Zamora, but Zamora fighting back hard in those last 10 seconds of round 1.
There's always a comeback story here in Combate Global. We've seen it in the past. It can happen again. Zamora's corner was telling her, just don't throw me a kick. Follow it up with a 2-3. Just don't give me one shot. Easier said than done, right?
Yeah,
but that's what
it takes combinations, to your point, to back off an aggressive opponent. Right now, Pettigrew being very aggressive. So far, Rodolfo, she's been completely unconcerned with the offense of Zamora. Now, nice knee. Her corner telling her to go, go, go. Thought they had her hurt with that high knee. It looks like Pettigrew took it pretty well.
But Pettigrew just so composed. You would never even tell that she's in a fight. Just picking and choosing where she wants to strike. Her game plan is definitely working here. And I mean, this is, both these women, this is their style of fighting. Stand-up type of fighters.
Problem is, Zamora has been on the back foot. And one thing she has not been throughout her career is a slick counterpuncher. She's not the kind of person who slips and rips and is comfortable working the outside. She likes being the aggressor. We just saw the scorecards. No surprise here. Pettigrew 10-9 on all 3 judges' scorecards. Remember, the corners are aware. We have open scoring here in Combate Global. They know the score even before we do.
And it seems that Zamora that's picked up that endurance came in with that elbow compared to that first round. She picked up the pace.
And she's realizing this fight might slip away.
She can't be turning her back, though. She can't be turning her back, especially when you do the kick. You can't turn the back, Jimmy.
I was about to say, I wonder why I haven't seen more takedown attempts from either one of these fighters. Pettigrew going for one, but not really pushing on the takedown. Went for it, didn't try to drive through on it.
But if I'm Pettigrew, I definitely don't want to do. But Zamora, I would take the chance. Why not? And you hear, and I don't know if there's a leg that she's limping. I do see the standstill from Zamora. Even after the bell rang, she was, the walk was a little slightly off, right?
Yeah.
And you see how she kind of put it throws me off a bit.
It could be just the nature of her stance, but you see some redness around the lead leg of Zamora.
That left leg, yeah.
Yeah, it has been a target.
You hear the corner, let it go, and that's what she needs to do. She needs to go toe-to-toe. But what I found is every time she goes, she forgets to keep those hands up, so she needs to protect herself, because Pettigrew is a very linear type of fighter, and she'll just keep going at you.
Yeah.
Strike, 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 so you have to be careful. Or
Tonight,
that chin.
Now, here are the stats right now. Zamora, more punches than Pettigrew. Pettigrew, more kicks. I don't think that's told the story. I think Pettigrew has landed more effective punches. Accuracy, Pettigrew, much more accurate. But tonight has been an advertisement for straight punches, right? Pettigrew has done a great job keeping Zamora at distance with straight punches. It makes your opponent take risks to get inside.
You can never go by the numbers. One thing, Mayweather and Pacquiao, I think Pacquiao had like over 100 more, 300 more than him, but he lost the fight.
They don't always tell the story. Sometimes they do, but not always. Now Pettigrew slowing down just a little bit. Minute and 15 left to go in round number 2.
Zamora keeps sizing her up, feinting, but doesn't let it go. She has to be confident in her striking.
As we say, can't take your punches home with you. You have any of them, got to use them now.
And she's more than capable of doing it. She's a beast in there. She's a savage, but she has to be confident in those hands.
Nice short hook over the top. Caught Pettigrew just above the left ear, but
Pettigrew felt it.
Well,
Pettigrew felt it. She has to be persistent. She's doing a good thing right here with 38 seconds, but she needs to drive the train.
Pettigrew's output slowing down just a little bit. Still taking physical space. She'll still pushing forward, but not throwing like she did in round number 1.
This is when Zamora needs to capitalize right here. But we talk about that energy level, right? In that mid-fight. Who's gonna pick it up? Pettigrew trying to fake the takedown.
10 seconds left. Who will turn it up? Pettigrew claiming the center, but Zamora trying to fight her way back into this fight as we close round number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final decision. When the fight is over, we leave here organized. You can't just get up there and just walk out because it gets a little crazy.
Even if it fucking hits, I'm gonna get her moving back. We're gonna go 2 left high. It'll be there soon. Hey, she's moving to the fucking left. Spin on her fucking ass. Okay? Hey, don't think about it. Just let it go. Worst case scenario, misses, guess what? We got fucking WrestleMania. Alright? Let's get this shit. Hey, you won the first one, I gotta check on the second one. I think you won it too. Okay? Hey, let's finish fucking song. Let's go. Alright, let's go.
Welcome back to round number 3 of what has been an incredible fight between Claudia Zamora and Christina Pettigrew. Claudia Zamora in the black, Christina Pettigrew in the gray. Pettigrew has so far been the aggressor, but slowing down a bit in round number 2, letting Zamora at least mentally back into this fight.
I think Zamora here just had a cup of coffee, cafecito, because she's picking up the pace. This is a different young lady right here we're seeing.
A little stumble from Pettigrew. And Zamora all over her. Round number 2, Pettigrew brought a lot more physical pressure. I mean, she did land more punches, but wasn't throwing like she was in round number 1. And Zamora right now trying to, recover some ground. We'll know the score in a little bit.
And Pettigrew really hasn't evolved throughout the fight. She stuck to the same thing over and over and over again. She even tried to do that lead leg, little Muay Thai stance. You saw it there, Jimmy. But really hasn't changed. She tried to go for the takedown once or twice, but pretty much the same thing over, very repetitive.
Could it be Zamora has kind of cracked that code and figured it out a little bit?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what she has less than 4 minutes to do so. Now this when that last energy boost needs to come in.
Well, she's got it, throw it.
And Pettigrew knows it. That's where she's going to the ground. She's attempting to go to the ground. So what's been working for Zamora is those hooks, because since Pettigrew is so linear, and she'll throw straight, but she'll leave the sides open. Pettigrew trying to do a switch kick there, but didn't go through. But now Zamora wrecking in. She's going to talk about that comeback story, Jimmy.
And finally has Pettigrew off balance. Pettigrew trying to throw some spinning strikes to get back in this, but Christina Pettigrew up 2 rounds to none over Claudia Zamora. She needs not just a great round, she needs a finish in round number 3 to win this one.
Flipping up the script, Jimmy. Pettigrew feels it. She's even a little bloodied up there in the nose. Zamora just wants it. You can see it in her.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go in round number 3.
What a
Claudia
fight.
Zamora winning round number 3 will not be enough. She needs a finish. Remember, we have open scoring. Her corner certainly knows that. I believe she knows it as well. She's certainly fighting like she needs a finish.
She needs that finish right now. This is the only way. She needs to go for that KO or sub. Wherever she can, she needs to find that last grasp of energy if he wants to get that KO, Jimmy.
And now Pettigrew is the one backing up, the one trying to keep Zamora off her. It's a complete reversal of round number 1.
What a story it would be if Zamora were to take this victory, defend her howler here in Miami.
And look at the numbers. Zamora, more punches, not as many kicks. Total strikes, she's what, 25 ahead of Pettigrew. But Pettigrew much more accurate. But Zamora just needs to finish, whatever it is. The problem is, of all the strikes she's landed, we haven't seen many really rock Pettigrew, right? She's got her moving back, hasn't really had her hurt.
She sets it up with the left, but she doesn't follow through with follow-up. But again, this is late in the game. So yes, you could throw her off with that left hook, but do you have enough power in that right?
It's power punches that she needs to finish this fight. Jab is nice, good setup.
No, great way of setting it up, there's no doubt. But you need that power to finish her off. You have a minute and change left.
Minute 15 seconds in round number 3. It is Christina Pettigrew up 2 rounds to none over Claudia Zamora. This crowd here in Miami getting behind Claudia Zamora.
And Pettigrew, you could tell that she is running out of steam.
Put so much into round number 1, started slowing down midway through round number 2. 45 seconds left.
Right now it's just muscle memory, Jimmy.
Can Claudia Zamora pull off the upset, get the finish left? She's got to be exhausted. She is bloodied, but she is still moving forward. Is it enough?
Right now it's all guts and blood that's being thrown in there. This is what defines an athlete inside La Jaula.
And you talk about technique, you talk about how to throw a punch, talking about things like accuracy and volume. This is about heart and will and desire. Who has more of it? 10 seconds left. Can Zamora get the finish? She is down. Pettigrew doing enough to keep her at bay.
Oh, she's trying to go for the home run,
what will
Jimmy.
happen at the end of round number 3. Pettigrew able to keep Zamora from landing that knockout punch.
Man, she went for that grand slam.
We will find out the particulars of this great fight when we come back. Claudia Zamora and Christina Pettigrew. Omar Amador, let us know who the winner is.
Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of much more action, los jueces están todos de acuerdo. The judges are all in agreement con tarjetas 29-28 with scorecards 29-28. Todas para la ganadora por decisión unánime. All in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. Christina Pettigrew!
Both fighters did things right. Both fighters did things wrong. Both fighters will go back to the gym and get better after this one.
They're going to learn from their mistakes. It seems like Zamora in the beginning came out a little slow, too much strong, with a lot of energy. Pettigrew, and that's the opposite end in the 3rd round. But overall, great fight, great heart. Both
overall, great fights tonight. We appreciate every single fighter, every behind the scenes. I'm Jimmy Smith for Rodolfo Roman. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week on Combate Global. More action to come.